Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen, and it is time for my MTB Slam for the month of September. Hey, if you're watching my video and you like it, subscribe. It don't cost you nothing. My original MTB Slam I tried a week ago, it was a complete and total bust. There's just no point in going back and do it again. Technical difficulties, all kinds of difficulties. Disastrous day. But anyway, so what I did is I went back on the MTB website and I ordered what they call the Catch Co box. I don't know, they get the logo right here on the sticker or on the tape. And it's part of Mystery Tackle Box, but it's a box that you can actually go and see what's in it and select which box you need, which I think is pretty cool. You don't have to be a member of MTB. You do have to have an account, not an account, have to have a profile with them so you can see, you know, the boxes and everything else. You go into your profile, click on this thing that says choose box, and then there's a whole big old list and pictures of what's in this box. Now the box this month I chose was the Pond Hopper box. Don't know why they called it the Pond Hopper box, because it ended up being probably the best fall fishing box that there is. They've got everything you need, and I'm on Chickamauga, and it's definitely everything I need to fish Chickamauga today. They first of all got a live target frog. Like I said, I knew that these things were in the box. It wasn't a surprise. One of my favorite spinnerbait, the striped back spinnerbait from Mega Strike. A small lipless crankbait, man, perfect for fall. A little Strike King red eye shad, and some Biospawn exo sticks in candy grass, which is the color that I love to throw on this lake. And then a package of Skinny Bear wacky drop shot hooks, the little octopus hooks it looks like. And perfect for wacky rigging this thing. So it's a pretty straightforward box. I absolutely loved it. It cost me $25. The frog is $11.99. The spinnerbait's $8.99. The red eye shad is $6.39. The bag of exo sticks is $6, and the drop shot hooks, or the wacky hooks, are $3.29. So I got way more than what I paid for. So anyway, let me get these put on some rods. We're gonna go fishing. I'm gonna teach you about it. And actually today I'm gonna attempt to catch a fish on every lure in the box. I think I can do it on this box. It'd be awesome. All right, now let me show you what I have rigged and how and why. So first of all, I've got the frog, and of course I wrapped them all up together because that's Murphy's Law. Got the frog on my 6'5" frog rod that's coming out next month, the Muse Black. I just love that rod. It's probably not the best rod for mat fishing, but we'll find out today, hopefully. 65-pound braid, high-speed 8 1-to-1 reel. And then as a follow-up bait, say the fish blows up on it and misses it, the exo stick is an excellent follow-up bait. I have it on a medium action rod, 15 or 20-pound fluorocarbon leader to 30-pound braid. Probably need to be beefier than that, but I feel like I can cast it better this way. But the exo stick is an excellent follow-up bait. Throw it back into that hole and watch and catch the fish. So those two work hand in hand. Then my two search baits, the lipless crankbait and the spinnerbait. I'm not too happy about that color. It's a black, but it's also got a lot of shine, a lot of silver to it, so it can probably look like a shad if I fish it right, or if the bass, you know, thinks it's a shad. Anyway, so that's how I got them rigged up. Medium. This is a 6 foot something. No, this is a 7 foot, and this is a 7 foot. So two 7 foot medium action rods, and that's it. Now I'm just gonna go fishing. All right, so there's good and bad things about fishing Chickamauga today. I did not realize that there was a BFL All-American going on right now. So there are 200 tournament boats fishing this lake today. Figured, Thursday, nothing's going on. Nope, I get to the boat ramp and it is slap full of trucks and trailers. So I'm gonna have a whole lot of company today, but it's not gonna discourage me. I'm just gonna go fishing and see what happens. But there's gonna be a lot of boat traffic. Anyway, that's just my luck. All right, so I'm gonna start off fishing a frog. Just because I got mats, this is Chickamauga and it's frog season. And hopefully the water temperature's cooled up enough and the mats look really good. Hopefully well enough to at least catch a fish on it. But I made a good video two or 3 weeks ago about frog fishing. Covers a lot of what to look for in a mat, how to pick the right frog, what to do to your frog to make it fish better in the mats, that kind of stuff. I'll leave the link to that down in the description. But the kind of mats I'm looking for are just ones that have a whole lot of separated or dead hydrilla on top of the mat, laying over or whatever else. Because what happens is the hydrilla mats up and it kills what's underneath it and creates a whole lot of just avenues and places for the bass to hide. The bluegill get in there and they eat. They feed really good. So you really gotta, pick the right mat. And sometimes it's hard to tell. You just have to stop and go fish it. But one thing that always has to happen with the mats is you've got to stop and listen. And you're listening for the sucking sound of bluegill. Sounds like Rice Krispies is kind of what it sounds like. And so you listen for those Rice Krispies, and if that's going on, then it's probably a decent mat. The more popping, the better, I guess. And actually this frog, being that it's got a yellow belly, is usually my favorite color frog. But with this kind of stuff, I tend to want to make it look like a bluegill. If I don't get bit for the first hour or so, I might pull out some JJ's Magic and try to color a little bit of it orange and see what happens. That would be the ideal thing to do. All right, so as I am working my way down these grass flats, if I find an area that just doesn't look like it's holding, the mat doesn't look quite right, or, just basically just as I'm working down it, I'm gonna grab this lipless, grab that spinner bait, and use it to cover the water out along the edge of this grass. I love this grass mat. Let me show you what I mean. Hopefully you guys can see it on the video. I'm gonna turn this. Okay, you see how this grass mat has a lot of ins and outs. It's not one straight line. I love the ones that have ins and outs because it means there's points and pockets all along there, and it allows for places for the bass to hide and ambush prey. So I'm really gonna, as I'm working down there, I'm gonna pay a lot of attention to that. And that just tends to be the grass mats I don't want to pass up if I've got a chance. All right, so if you're wondering why I seem like I'm in a better mood today than I have been in a long time, it's because it's finally cooling off. We're finally getting fall weather. It's not supposed to get above 73 today. So I'm pretty excited. I have to wear a jacket today. I had to pull it out of the mothballs. I'm just happy because it just means the bass is gonna get right, and I'm not gonna be as miserable because I hate being hot. You can only get so naked. And I'd rather fish in the wintertime where you can just put more clothes on if you're cold. Now what I may have to do, since there's a freaking 200 boat tournament going on with some great fishermen in it, I may have to put this Alumacraft in the spots they can't get to. Oh, holy cow. Holy Toledo, look at this fish, guys. Oh my gosh, look at this fish. Man, unfreaking believable. Anyway, before this boat comes by and sees me holding this, I'm gonna put it in a box. Look at that fish. It freaking annihilated it. Oh, I love frog fishing. Let's get my composure back and go do it again. You may not get this rod out of my hand today. I'm impressed with it though. I cannot believe a little short 6'5" rod does that good in the mats. I designed this rod for skipping underneath brush and under docks and walking it in fairly open water or around timber and things like that. It's mainly a frog walking rod or a walking frog rod and a skipping, dock skipping jig, whatever you want to skip underneath docks. That's what I designed it for, but that was impressive. All right, so I want you guys to notice what I did there when I got that bite, I waited about 2 seconds. I don't know, you can go back and watch, but I waited until I felt the fish on the end of the line. I did not set the hook right away. You run the chance of losing a lot of fish by quickly setting the hook as soon as you see the strike. Because that fish hadn't got that bait in its mouth all the way. It's still got to clamp down on it and get all the grass out of its, out of the way, really. At least that's my philosophy. All right, so let me show you what's going on. I came back in this pocket, and the mats were really good in the mouth of the pocket, but as I got further and further back, I want you to look at all this. These mats, these aren't mats. It's big old clumps of hydrilla that are grown all the way to the bottom. The bass will get into a hole like this, maybe, but they're not gonna get into that hydrilla if it's not matted. At least they're not gonna get in there like I want them to and be up top where they hit a top water or whatever. So not the right kind of mats. The kind of mats I'm looking for are those ones that have all that slimy stuff. This is a small one, but have that slimy stuff on top of it, and it leaves a trail as your frog is working through it. And so, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And I'm listening for the bluegill to go, a little pop in, the sucking sound of the bluegill. It's not happening back here. I'm going back to the mouth of the creek, or this little pocket, and see if I can catch one back out there. And of course, if they're in these mats real good, I may not be able to catch them on that spinnerbait or the lipless, but those are ideal baits for when in the fall when the shad get way back in the backs of creeks and I mean all the way in the backs of major creeks, and the bass are back there chasing them. If there's no grass, if there's just stick ups or just a little bit of sparse grass, it's ideal to throw a lipless crankbait or a spinnerbait. Did that last fall on Clark Hill and just cleaned house. It was a lot of fun. I got some videos about that. Once again, I'll put those in the description. Up and it stopped. All right, so what I did was I had this had the exo stick. I had it basically rigged it with a punch rig. Got a 1 ounce weight, tungsten weight, pegged. One of those new river to sea flipping hooks that Ish Monroe evidently had something to do with designing. Outstanding hook. Quickly becoming one of my favorites. But I just flipped it in there. I've got to sit on using a 7'11" heavy, extra fast 8-1-1 gear ratio reel, 65-pound braid, and just enough to get the job done. Yeah. Always be ready. Guys, I said earlier today that I was going to try to catch something on everything in the box. I think I lied. When they're hitting a frog, you don't want to pick anything else up. I don't care how small they are. It's a blast. Cool, there's another one. Two casts, 2 fish. How you like that? Might as well teach you guys about a frog, since that's what I'm decided I'm going to fish. I might flip a little too, or punch a little. But so these mats, you see this little stringy stuff? That's the stuff that's on top of these mats. That's kind of what I look for, and the way I look for it is it just it's a different color. Your frog leaves a trail behind it, and the reason I look for it is I think that the bugs get into that stuff and get trapped, and the bluegill are underneath there just gorging themselves on the bugs that are in that grass, and then the bass follow. And really what I'm mimicking is not a frog on the surface, it's a bluegill that got up through the mat and can't get back down, and so they're flopping around on top of the mat. I'll be your huckleberry. Look at that. Come right up and hit it. All right, got one on the lipless. Hit it right at the boat. Still lazy and not put time to leader on. Don't do that. Come on now. Do you mind? There's 6 hooks right there. I'm just gonna get it out, take a pretty little picture and put you back in the water. Look at that. Watch out. Good little schooling bait. That time he didn't. That time he got it. Whoa. Now that's a good one. Man. Guess I'm gonna start hitting these little mouths of these little pockets. Good one, good one, good one, good one. Oops, probably should have let him go a little easier. He was swimming alongside the boat. Oh, I got one. All right, guys, well, I'm gonna call that the MTB Slam. I didn't catch one on the spinnerbait, didn't catch one on the wacky hook, but I caught some good ones and I caught them frog fishing. So, like I said, check out that video I did a couple weeks ago on how to fish hollow body frogs. It really gets into some details that I didn't cover here. But the Catchco box is pretty neat. You can actually pick what you want. I mean, each box is set up and has different themes and things like that, and you can really just go through and see what you're actually going to get all the way down to pretty much the color. So pretty awesome. I'll leave all the links and everything you need down in the description. And like I said, you don't have to sign up for Mystery Tackle Box and pay for Mystery Tackle Box to get the Catchco. You just have to have a Mystery Tackle Box profile. But anyway, well, I hope you enjoy this MTB Slam. I did catch one good one. I'm just excited to be able to finally have cool weather and be able to frog fish. Well, like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out on the water, go out and catch some fish, and have a great day. I'm gonna see if I can catch another one.